and say something to test your microphone on the recorder.
Check, check,
All right,
check, check.
awesome. It is working. Perfect. All right, so let's begin. All right, Chadi Bazzi here, and welcome to the Top Listing Agent Show, episode number 3. Today I have a very special guest, someone that I've met approximately 15 years ago, Thach, about 15 years ago, right around the calendar year
Yep.
2000 or so. Someone who's had a huge impact on my life and in my business, etc. In certain ways that he doesn't even know yet, because some of the stuff I've never shared with him that will come out in this interview today. But the purpose of this interview is to help you take your life and your business to the next level. And there's no one better than Thach to show you how to do this. So Thach, thank you very much for taking the time out to, be on the Top Listing Agent Show. We appreciate your time. I'm sure a lot of people already know exactly who you are, etc. But let's go ahead and tell them, who are you? What's your story?
Well, I live in Seattle, Washington. I originally came from Vietnam as a refugee. We literally came out of the last plane out of Vietnam, landed in Camp Pennington in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Lived there in a homeless shelter there for a few months, and then we got shipped up to Seattle. Stayed in another shelter there for a few months, and finally got sponsored to go live with a gentleman named Charles Zettler and his mom. And then from there, we just pretty much migrated in Washington. And about 2 years after living with Charles, we moved up to an area called Rainier Valley. For some of you who live in Seattle, you got to know Rainier Valley is. It's like that's Rainier Valley is like East LA, you know what I mean, in
Yeah.
Seattle. And I grew up there, normal, and had paper route. I had two paper route going at one time to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
We started from the bottom. We went to the food bank and we got food from the food bank. I remember these big block cheese about this
Yeah,
big,
the yellow ones,
right?
right?
The big yellow one,
Yeah.
right? And then milk in powder form, right? And been there, done that. Haul basket and basket of laundry to the laundromat, which is about a mile to. Did those, and then worked my way up and went to school. Um, I graduated from high school with like a 2.5 GPA. Wasn't sure really what I wanted to do, and then one of my friends said you should get into real estate, and I thought, hey, and actually she said something to me. She said, "You got a good mouthpiece, and I think that you do good in real estate. And plus, I heard you get 7% every sale you make, which I was like dumb, didn't know. $100,000, 7%, $7,000 per house. I do it right,
Yeah.
and so my first 3 years, I didn't do very well, and then of course in my fourth year, that's when I met Mike Ferry,
Mm-hmm.
and then pretty much my journey started pretty much going from there. I met Mike in 1994 at a action retreat. He had, coaching at the time. I remember paying $300 for coaching was a lot of money, man, in 1994. And he had me door knock 100 doors a day.
100 doors a day.
100 doors a day. I had a flyer for 100 flyers. My goal was to knock on 100 doors, pass out the flyers to 100 houses, home or not home, I pass it out. And then, and so I started at 9 o'clock. It take me about 5 hours, about one. And I knock on it, and I use the script, obviously. And then I get done at 1 o'clock, and I drive back to the office, get something to eat, do my CMAs or my appointment, then I go see all my appointment in the evening time. So I did that 5 days a week, man, for 5 hours a day for like 10 years straight in the
Wow.
rain, the snow every day, and I just went from selling like 5 homes a year to like 15 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80, 100, and that was how I got my business. You know what I mean? Just from straight cold doors, and it worked. And so today I still do forms of calling and still forms of door knocking, but I do more specific property
Yeah.
versus a big shotgun style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So Thach, you were knocking. I mean, because I know there's somebody out there listening to this and saying, 100 doors every single day. We're talking about over 2,000 doors every single month.
Yeah.
Most people cannot do that in a year.
Right.
How did you do it? I mean, that must have like taken, some, you know, lot of energy from you. I mean, your mentality, like, did you wake up every single morning excited to do it? Or did you wake up every single morning saying, oh my God, another 100 doors? What was that like?
Well, you know, if I had to backtrack back then and really thought about it, for me, it was all about making money back then. It was my single minded focus was I want to make money because I didn't have no money. I was living at my mom and dad's house, and I always loved nice stuff, loved nice cars, loved nice stuff, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to get it. And so my number one focus at the time was just making money. And so what came along with that was I was so focused on making money, but at the same time I wasn't doing good customer service
Hmm.
because I was all about Thatch versus about, you know what I mean, others,
Yeah.
right? And so the focus of making money was good because you know what you focus on, what you get, and I was getting deals, and that's what drove me every day was making money. And then as I continue to get more success, I noticed, I look back today, the second thing that kept me going was then the second thing came in was recognition.
Hmm.
And so that the more recognition I got, the more I was driven to keep doing it.
You wanted more of it.
I want more of it, right? And then of course more money came, more recognition, and it worked for many years that way. But it also was a very tiring treadmill cycle.
Yeah.
That style, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then of course, you know, in 97, 98 is when you know I had a big breakdown, and I think that was where my life really started changing, and taking the focus off of me and money and recognition, and started focusing on how can I make a difference.
Hmm.
But that was the thing that drove me when I was younger was money and recognition, having nice stuff, you know, being known, being seen, and it works. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but if you're young and that's all you can focus on, and you can't focus beyond that, then use that focus. Just know that you can run over a lot of people and leave a lot of dead bodies,
Yeah.
and hopefully that you can recognize that and learn from that quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Thatch, for you, it was I ain't got no money. I
Yep.
gotta make some money. I wanna make some money. I wanna have the nice stuff. You started to make some money. You started to get the recognition. You fell in love. So with the money and let's say the fame, and you
Yeah.
wanted more of it.
Right.
Okay. Now, I think almost every single person out there that's watching this video and or listening to this podcast or anyone in general, they want more money.
Right.
Okay? And they want to be recognized, heard, loved, etc. The human needs, etc.
Right.
But that doesn't drive them, it drove
Right.
you.
Right.
So I'm raising the question here because I believe you're an expert in this. Okay, um, how does one like find that one thing that's
Yes.
gonna get them in the mentality of, look, this is what I want, this is what I gotta do, and it
Right.
don't matter how I feel every single day, I gotta get the job done.
That's right. Yeah. So for me, and that's a good question, Chaddy, because not everyone, because everybody want to make money. Everybody want to be recognized and be successful, but it's the association that we have that you gotta find. So, for example, for me, it was about recognition and having nice cars and nice stuff, and money come along with that. Okay, and so that was the link that attached the two bridges together. Now, I coach some people, and they say they want money, and they won't do what it takes to create the money. But then I say to them, and as I start talking to them, I find out um, that what's important to them is to make sure that their kid go to a good school. And so if you focus on helping your kid go to a good school, then the money will automatically come to take care of that focus. Or I might talk to someone that might say, you know, my focus is I want to buy my mom at least a condo so she can get out of the ghetto.
Mhm.
And so they just focus on helping their mom, then that inspiration will just keep them focused. And as they stay focused on that, the transaction will come. So for me, it was recognition and money and nice car because I love to have cars, right? And so that was my metaphor for someone that says, get my mom a house or give my mom. I got one back then. Back then, it was we lived in this 2 bedroom, basically no bath house. Okay, when we started, and one of my things was my mom was working at a factory, just like any other Asian minority mom. And to see my mom work 8 hours a day and make $7 an hour was ridiculous. But she couldn't go work at Safeway because she didn't speak no English. And so she had to work at the factory all day, all night to make $8 an hour, $7 an hour. So that was one of my why was to actually make enough money to replace my mom's salary so she can get out working.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the association that people have to really think. That you might say, I want to make your money, but it might not mean nothing.
Yeah.
But taking to replacing my mom's income, it has a deep connection to it. That's what Tony Robbins talks a lot about.
Got it. So it's that deep connection, and you know what? I think that right there is really the golden nugget. It's not so much how much money you are gonna make. It's
No.
what is that money gonna do for you, or what is it? Because I'll give you an example. I recently I'm coaching a gentleman right now who said, "Hey, my goal is to make $450,000."
Yep.
And I was like, how much money did you make last year? And he's like, $100,000. I go, then I'm going to give you a homework assignment. And the homework assignment is, I want you to spend $450,000 on paper right now.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't do it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So basically that number was just a number. There was no connection to that number. Okay. So what you're saying is, all right, so what is your core reason? Like, for you, it was like, I got to replace my mother's
Wow.
income so I can retire, et cetera, et cetera. Very, very good. And you talk about you love the cars, okay? And I don't know if you noticed it now, but I watch every single one of your videos. And whoever is not watching Thach's videos should definitely be watching Thach's video because there's always nuggets that he is, just sharing from the heart, et cetera. And I think you were driving a Bentley. I think that was a Bentley. Okay.
Right.
And you were saying something that it's not about the goal that you reach. It's about who you become in the process. Because back then it was like, I want the car, and now you got, I don't know how many cars you got.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, on the fast forward today, I realize, and a lot of you will appreciate this. A lot of people who've been down this road can appreciate it. I was reflecting one day, and I was saying to myself was, I remember when I started, and I was out prospecting, and I was getting rejected, and I remember knocking on this one door, and the gentleman say, "Man, go learn how to speak English, and then call me later," right? And then I remember knocking on the man's door, and the guy's like, "I'm not selling, don't be bugging me." And then his daughter, I said, "Go get him," right? And then I got chased, and it bit me, and I had to go to the hospital, and then for many, many, I mean, I'm knocking on the door, you're gonna get rejected pretty much 99% of the time, right? And all those rejection, and I remember going on a presentation. I remember I was taking notes, and I was doing what my first topic, right? Take notes, right, and have the questionnaire on your clipboard. So I was asking all the questions, looking at the clipboard, and then I remember calling the guy back and I said, "Hey, did you decide who did you decide to listen with?" The guy said, "I decided to listen to somebody else." And I said, "Man, I asked you why." He said, "Well, I noticed you was reading the clipboard and you didn't have your question memorized, and so I didn't feel you were professional, and I didn't feel like you were good enough, so I decided to hire somebody else." I had so many of those days, Chadi, where rejection, lost buyer, lost seller, trying to tweak my presentation. And there were so many days I wanted to quit and just go get a job. But I remember coach saying, we keep refining your script, keep refining your mindset. And, I did a little bit, I did a little bit of results. And then, of course, you say 3 steps forward, take 2 steps back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. But I kept going forward. And then, so when I looked at all that, and I remember, wanting to buy my first Mercedes. I bought my first Mercedes. And then I want to buy my first rental. And I did all that. And in this journey, sometimes I never really reflected and see how good I already had it. But I kept on chasing the next thing. And so the other day I was driving to work, and this aha came to me. And like, I'm driving this $300,000 Bentley. It's a 2014 Bentley I bought brand new last year. And I'm driving it, and it's one of the most beautiful cars you can get right now. And it doesn't say to me like, "Wow, I got this Bentley." And the reason why is because I look back and I see all the struggle that I went through, and all the hardship that I went through and all the defeat that I went through, and actually keep rising from the ashes and keep becoming the person I need to become to keep reaching my goal. And today, when I got my goal of this Bentley, and I recently bought myself a 458 convertible Spider, right?
For those that don't know what a Spider is, that's a Ferrari, right?
That's the Ferrari
Yeah.
convertible, the 458. And I have my Rolls Royce Phantom I recently sold. I have my Mercedes Benz I recently sold. Um, and I have all these great cars, and I got the house, and I got hundreds and hundreds of rental properties, and I realized those goals are great, but what make me much more fulfilling and get this smile on my face is the person I became where I'm at today.
Yeah.
And so when people are struggling, I want to tell them is the juice is in the person you are becoming day in, day out to achieve your goal. That's where all the juice is. And the juice meaning the frustration, the win, the breakdown, the breakthrough, because that's the juice and that's what makes a human being. And that was the aha, man, I got when I was driving to work the other day. And it just a reminder of the person you become is more important than the goal we achieve. And sometimes we get so caught up on chasing after the goal. And every time we get the goal, the goal get pushed out again. And instead of looking to see, really appreciate the journey, appreciate the breakdown when you're in breakdown. You know what I mean?
Right.
Appreciate the win when you have the win on the journey. That to me is much more meaningful, more fulfilling, and to me, that's the $1 million ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people don't see that. What they see is they see a good looking guy driving a good looking Bentley.
Right.
They don't see what you had to go through every single day in order for you to earn the right to drive the Bentley.
That's right.
Okay.
And this too, Chad, some people, you know what I mean? Their parents gave them the nice car.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have the same meaning or the same fulfillment what I did describe just now.
Yep.
And so I want to tell everybody, embrace the breakdown, right? Love when you go through hardship. Love when you go through the ashes, because when you come out of it, you're gonna appreciate life. And today, when you go buy that car, it's just a cherry on the sundae.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Love it. One of the things that's radiating, through this conversation right now is your energy and in your passion, for contribution in making a difference. I want to take us back. Maybe this was about 15, no, about 12 years ago, maybe. I believe we were having dinner at a Maggiano's somewhere here in Orange County, me, you, Corinne, and Kevin, and a couple of other people. And I was at a place in my life to where, I started to I came from Detroit, so, maybe not like, your background, but, kind of similar. And I'm in Orange County, and I started to reach goals, and I started to make six figures, and I started to get the nice things and stuff like that. And then one day I woke up, and I woke up like no energy, absolutely no energy. And I remember saying to you, Thach, I'm a young guy. I don't have no energy. How do I get energy? And you said to me, the reason you lost your energy is because you lost your purpose. I don't know if you remember that or not, but that was like, I just want to tell you that was a huge breakthrough moment for me. And that's when I really woke up and I said to myself, all right, so I've reached the destination, okay? And now it's like I didn't reach a plateau. I stopped dreaming,
Right.
okay? And what I want to transition into that is to gain the energy, to have the desire to go out there and do everything that you need to do every single day. You got to have a dream.
Right.
You got to have a why.
That's right.
Okay? How do people tap into that why?
That's right. That's a good question. So there's a difference between a goal and there's a difference between a vision.
Yeah.
A goal is I want to make money to be recognized, to be seen, to be noticed, to be famous, to have nice cars, to be number one in my office. That's a goal. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about you. The vision is about others. The vision is I want to make money so I can help replace my mom so she don't have to work. I want to make money and see. When I first started, I didn't think about replacing my mom. It was about me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then a vision is I want to make money because I want to take my mom and dad on a nice 5-star vacation for the first time. And I remember taking them, Chadi, to Hawaii. Me and Cammy took my mom and dad to Hawaii. And I remember we was there and we were staying at one of the nice hotel on the beach. And my dad and mom, first time I ever been in Hawaii, and we're sitting at McDonald's, right? And my mom and dad were like, "This is surreal." And um, and then um, and then part of my tradition after that was every year one of my vision, not my goal is part of a vision,
Mm-hmm.
right? The vision was to take all my brother and sister and my parents and Cammy's parents on a 1 year extravagant trip every single year, all paid by me.
Wow.
And so I remember the first time we ever did that, there was like 20 of us, and we went to the Maui to the Grand Wailea.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember staying there, and everybody had their room. I paid for everybody's rooms and everything. And my dad and I was walking along the beach, and everybody was playing. And we went for a little walk. And my dad says, "You know, I really appreciate that you share your money with all of us and all your brothers and sisters, because none of us make this kind of money so that we'll ever experience this kind of a resort lifestyle. But more importantly, you taking everybody and having a family trip every single year together.
Yeah.
And that's a big meaning." And so that is when I really noticed the difference between goal and vision.
Mm.
And so when you start writing goals, you gotta notice that if your writing is all about you, then at a certain point, you will basically you don't need any more for yourself. And then also you're gonna get tired because you have to. And there's a difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivations are external, inspirations are internal. Vision is inspiration, motivation is goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're all about goal, you motivate. But the problem is you're gonna run out of your energy.
Yeah.
But when you're inspired, I think about my dad. And my dad passed away in 2007, and I'm blessed to be able to take my dad to Vietnam and Thailand and Singapore and I mean all the places in the world, and I was all me taking him and all my family out, and that's a vision. That's like nonprofit. Nonprofit write vision. They don't write goals.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
and so everyone listening, go ahead and write goals, but beyond the goal, write a vision, and your goal is part of your vision anyways.
Yeah.
But when you keep your eye on the vision, and the goal will be accomplished because it's part of the whole vision.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. That right there is so huge. And that's pretty much also somewhere along the line of what you shared with me back then. Because you said to me is that when you have your vision, that energy is a state of mind. You will experience less obstacles because you don't see them as obstacles, but you see them as work towards your vision.
That's right.
So
And the
that,
vision is all about others. It's
yeah,
beyond you.
yeah,
It's outside of you. In landmark form, it's for something, and goal is about something.
yeah.
That's the
I
difference.
like that, for something versus
Yeah,
about
that's
something.
right.
That is awesome. All right, I got a couple more things I've written down right here that I want to make sure that we cover within our time together. Question for you. Do you have like a daily routine, I mean, what would you recommend as a daily routine for someone that wants to take more listings and, sell more homes, etc.?
Yeah. For sure, like some of the agent of my team, um, I recommend everyone adding fitness to their routine. So in the morning, just like you and Danny and all those guys, I get up in the morning and then I do CrossFit in the morning. And then when I get back from CrossFit at 7 o'clock, I spend time and I sit, and I highly recommend all the people listening to make meditation as part of your morning ritual.
Hmm.
Some of the thing I noticed, a lot of the young folks are so busy doing, and they're not taking the time to practice being, because meditation is sharpening the axe, and they don't want to spend time sharpening the axe. They want to just basically hit the street running and chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, and they don't realize that the wood, the axe is dull, and they can just step back 10, 15, 20 minutes a day in the
Hmm.
morning and just sharpen the axe. They'll do a lot better than just chopping wood only. So for me, I work out in the morning, then I meditate, and then I have a morning ritual that you know of, called my Destiny by Design thing.
Hmm.
We can talk about that later. But I
Yeah.
have a morning ritual that I do, that I teach people, and that takes about 10 minutes. And then after that, then I review my vision and my goal, right? And then after that, then I drop my kid after school, and then I hit the phone and I get working. So my morning is usually from 9 to 12. I usually spend time prospecting my database, right? And my database is filled with investors and builders
Hmm.
and past clients,
Hmm.
and that's who I work with pretty much in my business. And then I also work with a lot of real estate agents in the community, because they're the one who actually find real estate deals for me.
Hmm.
So from 9 to 12, I prospect my database to find listing for the team, and at the same time, I prospect agent to see what kind of deal, what kind of land they got for me,
Hmm.
right? And then from 12 o'clock on, I eat lunch from 12 to 1. And then from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I usually go on appointment, usually only listing appointment. All buyer go to my team. Listing before I go, but then majority of the other day, I spend time meeting my superintendents and my general contractor for all the different projects that I'm involved in.
Wow.
And that's what I do pretty much Monday to Friday.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that, Thatch. So right now, how many, just so we can put a number on this, how many transactions or volume will your team do this year?
I, I just put my team this year together,
Okay.
so really it's always been myself. But I'm not even gonna count my team. I'm just gonna count me because they just got started.
Hmm.
But for myself this year, I think I probably hit between 75 and 75 to about 90 deals for myself this year. So, but I just put this big deal together that day, and just that one deal probably gonna give me 20 listings.
Wow.
So I have a feeling that till now in the year, my year ends at November 30th. So I don't work December. I take off, but I spent December
Nice.
somewhere in the world. And
Nice.
so I'm gonna shoot for between 75 and 100 transactions
Okay.
for me this year.
Got it. So
Right? That's
75 to 100.
that's listing only.
That's listing only 7,500. 75. That sounded nice. 7,500 listings.
Yeah.
75 listings to 100 listings, all by yourself, not including
Right.
a team or anything like that. And at the same time, you're involved in a lot of development and a lot of
Right.
investing and
Right.
helping put people on homes and rental
Right.
properties and all that good stuff. So you got a lot going on.
Oh yeah, I mean this year we're probably due about probably close to 400 or 500 apartment units this year.
Wow.
Uh, about probably 20 or 30 houses, individual houses we're building. Anywhere from three to four fixer upper a month.
A month.
A month.
Nice.
So I am meeting a lot of general contractor and superintendent everywhere every day, on top of going out and listing property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, a lot of my seller are people I know. I just emailed in the paperwork. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or builder, I send them a paperwork, and they send back 4 or 5 listings at a time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for you guys out there listening, one of the tip I will give you, that if you work in an area where there is development, go find land and sell to a builder, because if you sell them a land, you should get all the list backs.
That's right.
So to me, it's like one transaction, multiple deals.
Wow, I love that. You know,
Okay,
that's so hard for people to think about because they're just so focused on just that one deal.
that's it. And really, it's really a mindset thing, because they're so trained to call an expire for some owner, or just looking to sold, and this is great, right? But imagine you got a builder that want to build houses, which every builder right now want to build houses. If you went and found a lot where he can subdivide into 4 or 5 lots, he buy that, you make a commission, then you get 4 or 5 listing on the back end, and if you get lucky, you could double in some of those. You can add one relationship into 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 deals.
Yeah.
And to me, you remember NLK?
Yeah, of course.
And okay, today he built about probably 100 homes a year right now.
Wow.
And he said to me the other day, him and I was talking, he said, man, if I knew what I knew back then, I would not be calling Expire all day long. It takes forever to get a deal. I just go find me some property and sell them to builder and get one deal and get 4, 5, 6, 8, 20, 50 listing of one builder.
Wow.
And so that's a tip for all you guys out there listening.
Love it. That tip right there we should charge money for, right? No, we're not gonna do it. That's a very, very, very good tip. All right, couple more things. One question. I know a lot of people, that know you know that you are like, a big believer in the law of attraction. Okay, and so am I. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions for a lot of people when they get into the conversation of the law of attraction is they forget about the law of action.
That's right.
Okay, can you just spend like 1 minute talking about that?
Yes. So I'm going to say a few things. So first of all, that there is also a law called the law of average. And I know from experience, and you know from experience, that all opportunity lies in people. If you and I was on a deserted island, it's me and you, there's only two people, and all the opportunity is going to come from between me and you.
Yeah.
Right? So here we are on this island called the United States, or it happened to be in LA, happened to be in Seattle. There is millions of people out there. So the question, are you in front of them enough? And so the law averages, if you talk to less people, less opportunity. The more people you talk to, the more opportunity you have. Okay? So that's one. The law of attraction to me says that if you're going to go talk to people, why don't you say, what is my perfect criteria for a seller? What's the perfect criteria for a buyer? Just like what's the perfect criteria for a girlfriend? What's the perfect criteria for a wife?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, a perfect criteria for a seller is someone whose average price is $500,000 or more. Someone who is happily going to pay me 6% with joy. Someone who has a referral from me, 2 or 3 of them before the end of the year. Someone who listened to my advice. Someone who is honored to work with me, I'm honored to work with them. And so I put those criteria into my brain. And I said, this is what I want to focus on as I'm out meeting the people around Seattle. And then, of course, the law of action is you got to go out to meet them. So if you're going to go out and meet them, be clear on what it is you want, talk to enough people, then all the laws are working towards your advantage. The problem, Chadi, is people don't work the law of average enough. People don't work the law of action enough, and they're definitely focusing on the lack versus the perfect seller.
Right.
And this is what I'm saying is that the law of attraction give everybody exactly what they're looking for. And how you know if it's working is just look at your life. Everything you got, the law of attraction give it to you, even the good stuff, even the thing that you don't want, because it's been delivered.
Yep.
And so if I can give anyone a tip, take the time to write down what's the perfect seller, what's the perfect, buyer, right? Are they pre-approved? Are they ready to buy now? They buy on the first showing. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
How specific and clear can you get? And based on that, hold that energy as you're out talking to people.
Love it.
That's the difference in all 3 auctions.
Love it. Excellent. And let's just transition now. And okay, so you're selling real estate, you're doing development, you're doing investing, you're doing all that good stuff, but you're also finding time to give back.
Yes.
Okay, and obviously there's going to be, I'd say between 4,000 to 5,000 people who will either watch the video or in combination of watching the video and listening to this audio podcast. How can people talk about your Destiny by Design?
Yes. Well, let me start by just giving a background. Everybody go through this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, and you know this, Chad. Tony Robbins talked about one of the 7 human need is contribution.
Yeah.
Right? Variety, certainty, uncertainty, love, and contribution. Everybody want to contribute. Everybody want to be contributed to.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but you gotta create the connection, right? You don't want to go do it as an agenda. I scratch your back, you should scratch my back, right? And for me, I heard that back then, Chaddy, but it didn't register for me. Okay, I was still so focused on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody have these pivoting point, and I want to share my pivoting point, and then I answer your question for you. I remember in 1996, I'm at the office, and I get this page from the front desk and says, "Thach, can you come to the front office? You have some guests." So I get to the front, and there was a gentleman and a lady, all nice and suited up. And then I was like, "Oh, must be a walk-in because I don't have any appointments." So I said, "Let's go into the conference room." And we sat down, and I was excited. I had my notebook out, and I was like, "What can I do for you folks?" Right? And then the guy says to me, "Well, let me introduce myself to you." And he whipped out his wallet and said, "Hi, my name is blank, 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 and I'm from FBI." And then her name is blank, 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 and she's from IRS.
Ooh.
And we're here because we have evidence that you recently sold a home to a guy that we just picked up from California with 20 something kilos of cocaine.
Ooh.
And we've been watching him, and he's one of the biggest drug dealers in Seattle. And we are now investigating, and we want to take down everyone that actually did business with him. And based on what I know, you sold him the house he lives in right now. And in the federal government, if you knew he's a drug dealer and you sold him a house, then that's considered money laundering.
Mm.
And we call that conspiracy.
Yeah.
And with conspiracy, we can take you down for 15 years in penitentiary. Man, I tell you, Chadi, in that moment, the light in the room just like literally shut down. My heart fell out my stomach, and man, I just went into like a freeze, like whoa, right? And the guy left and said, "I'm coming back." It was a Friday. I'll come back on Monday. I'm gonna have a subpoena for you. I'm gonna take you. So on Friday, I went and called a whole bunch of friends and connected with some attorneys, and I found an attorney, and they basically said, "Hey, for now, I come through me." So for 2 years, Chadi, they tapped my phone, freed my bank account. You know what I mean? They followed me every fate form. They went through all the escrow, to pull out every file I had. You know what I mean? And for 2 years, man, they were literally mentally raping me, man,
Wow.
in every way possible. And I was selling about 70 to 80 homes a year. And my attorney said, "You got to keep selling 70 to 80 homes a year. Otherwise, they're going to think that why you sell so many homes, because you must be selling to a lot of drug dealer."
Yeah.
But the problem, every time I was making money, it was going to my bank account. It was free, and I couldn't use my money. So what's the, how they, what they call it, the man of both evils, right?
Yeah.
What's worse, right? Keep selling houses and can't use the money, or should I just quit? But if I quit, then I will show them, obviously, I must be selling a lot of houses because I'm selling so many houses, right?
Right.
And so, man, for 2 years, I was going through that. And I remember they said to me, I'm going to come pick you up. And this is on July 4th weekend in 1997. And I'm going to come pick you up on Monday, and we're going to trial you. And I was on my knee, Chadi, and I was like, "Dang, God, get me out of this mess, man. I'm innocent, And to me, praying is also law of attraction, right? I'm praying. I'm like, "Get me out of this. I'm innocent. I ain't do nothing." You know what I mean? And in that moment, I said to myself, I don't know how, I said, "Get me out of this mess, and I will start using my life more of a tool to inspire and contribute to other people."
Mm-hmm.
I always start making a difference to other people. You know what I mean? Get out of myself. That's what I learned. That's what I got out of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was for something then at the time.
Right.
And Monday came by, Chadi, and they didn't show up. Tuesday go by, they didn't show up. A week go by, they didn't show up. A month go by, they didn't show up. And I called my attorney. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know what I mean? "I don't know." You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for them, right? And then 2 months go by. Then 6 months go by. A year go by. In 1997, and today, steal, how they just literally disappear out of thin air, dude.
Whoa.
Out of thin air. And this is the power of focus, the power of attraction, the power of clarity, right? And also, this is where my shifting point in my life. I went about something for something.
Yeah.
And so today I do contribution, not because I'm trying to get more business. I don't do contribution. I don't go out there and help people. I don't go out there and inspire people and coach people to make more money. I do that because it's part of my mission today. It's part of my purpose today. It's part of who I am. It's part of my promise. But it also is part of the human need that I tapped into now, right? Tony Robbins does it, right? Everybody does it. So today, when I go out and I work with in real estate, I truly tell people this is not a good investment. Pass on it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a builder right now. He has $5 million. And he sent me this lot that he said, should I buy this property? I can buy it right now. And I'm like, you should not buy this property because this is the reason why, blah, 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 blah. I could have easily sold him a $2 million piece of property. But it was not, because he's going to lose money if he buy it.
Yeah.
But if I was back then, I need that commission check.
You're like, you better buy it. Yeah.
Right? You see
Yeah.
what I mean? And so in my business today, I'm not driven by the money. But what's interesting is that as I tell this guy that, he become more of my advocate and my supporter and my raving fan for me. And he started telling people, if you ever gonna buy say real estate, you gotta go to this guy because he take care of you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have agents that call me all over the world say, help me, help me, help me. Right? And so I was coaching one here, one there, one there. And then of course, part of what happened was I started end out creating this inner circle. And then I did teach people this thing called Destiny by Design, what you asked for now.
Yeah.
And in there, I teach them the power of clarity, the power of focus, and then a morning ritual to practice day in, day out, day in, day out. And then everybody in there support each other. And really, the whole Destiny by Design is really just like the title, teaching them how to create by design, by teaching them how to create clarity, how to tap into the law of attraction, take the action, keep working at it. When they're down, keep believing in themselves, keep understanding who you're becoming, and then see them on the other end.
Yeah.
And that's what Destiny by Design is all about. It's creating clarity and mastering, tapping into focus and law of attraction.
Right. So who is this right for? Is this right? Because, I know one of the things is somebody that thinks they got it going on already. They're going to think that this is not right for them, etc. Is this for everyone? Who is like the perfect candidate for this program?
Well, inside Destiny by Design, I have investors that are part of the inner circle. I have lots of real estate agents. I have builders. I have entrepreneurs. I have title reps. I have single mom. I have a single mom who is she's out flipping houses. So I have exchange students. You know what I mean? And I have people who my friend Jane. He sells real estate down in Southern California, and his average price is $2 million a year, $2 million a house.
Wow.
So he does it. You know what I mean? So for me, I do it because I know that sometimes it has nothing to do with real estate. It can be anything, as in you're having a breakdown with your relationship with your kids, and you need to get focused on what it is, the outcome you want to have, and you need to get clear on it.
Right. Right.
You see what I mean?
Love it.
But a lot of people in there, they are using it to help them increase their business. But I want to teach them inside there also to transition one day more and more into contribution mode, so they can put the nitrous on their business.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And how can people, find out about this? Because somebody's like probably driving around right now and listening to this, not watching it, not on their computer. How can they go and find more information about Destiny by Design?
So every quarter, I do a live webinar.
Okay.
And April 20th is when I'm going to do the next live seminar.
Okay.
And they can find out by going to dreambigwiththatch.com/March.
Okay.
The month of March. And so, it's a 4-week class where we do it like this. They can see me. And every week I teach them one of the steps and how to master the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And then every week inside the private circle, they will be writing stuff on the wall where everybody can see it.
Love it.
And they can read everybody else's stuff that they write on the wall. So it's very transparent, very, very intimate. Okay.
Right.
And then every week I teach them another one, and another week I teach another one. So 4 weeks. So I teach them the thing called appreciation, intention, and then delegation, and then miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And I teach them how to use that day in, day out in their life, and I add that to their life and their business. And then every week they write it on their wall, and that whole thing is like $400 for like a whole webinar. It's nothing.
Yeah.
And then once they're inside the inner circle, they're paying $20 to keep it going and be part of the inner circle every single month, which is, for coaching and for my time coaching people, that is like really like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more contribution than anything, right?
Yeah.
And then for a lot of the people who live in Southern Cal, I'm going to be down there speaking in Newport Beach, and on April 9th.
Okay. Yeah.
And they can go to dreambigwiththach.com/LA.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be down from 9 to 12 speaking down there to a big group of people from everywhere down to Southern Cal and talking a lot about this in that 3 hours, so they get a good sense of it. So I know you're going. Got a lot of friends going to be down there. And so if you're in Southern Cal, come down and visit us.
Got it. We'll make sure that we'll go ahead and put that in the show notes at shadibazzi.com/podcast. So someone can go there and just click the links, and it'll make it easier for them to get on that. And I know we're almost out of time, but I just want to ask you 2 very quick questions. We don't need to get in big details on them. What's your favorite quote?
Oh, man. The fastest way to get to an improved financial condition is to recognize all the good stuff you already have in your life now.
Love it. Love it. We'll make sure we'll put that one in the show notes as well too. And then if someone met you somewhere for just a quick 30 seconds, just said to you, Thach, I know you got to go. I know you got to go. But please recommend just one book that will change my life. What would that one book be?
Ask and it is given by Abraham Hicks.
Awesome. We'll put that one in the show notes too. So people can follow you. If someone's got a referral for you, an investment for you, want to get a hold of you, how do they access you through social networks, etc.?
Yep. You guys can easily find me on Facebook. I'm on all the social media, but Facebook's the easiest way. Thach Nguyen on Facebook. You can probably message me. And then, of course, on there, you'll see a lot of different links to all my different inspiration stuff that I do. And you can find all that there also.
Perfect. And I'll go ahead and make sure we link that in the show notes as well too.
Yep.
Thach, love you, brother. Thank you very much. I know this is a very special episode and it's going to change. I know there's someone out there that's going to listen to it and say, this changed my life. And we are forever grateful for your time and this opportunity. So thank you very much.
I appreciate it, man. And I look forward to seeing you on the 9th in Orange County.
You got it, buddy. Likewise.
Peace
Thanks.
out.
You got it.
Bye.
All right. So Thach,